Who is now the hero of Italian design or coach building and supercars? In my opinion, it is not an Italian, but it is an Argentinian. No, I'm not thinking of De Tomaso. I'm talking about Orazio Pagani. I think his story is fantastic. It was 1982 when he took his first journey to Italy, because he got 5 letters of presentation by Manuel Fanjo, his Argentinian driver, famous world champion. And he had these 5 letters to introduce him to Enzo Ferrari, Alfieri, Chiti, 5 top men from the world of car racing. Orazio Pagani, creator of fantastic supercars, but his cars are great, but his story, I think, is even greater. Orazio Pagani grew up in a small village, some 60 kilometers away from Rosario, Argentina. As a natural talent, was still a boy when he was fixing, repairing all sorts of machinery for the farmers in that area. He was a natural talent, and eventually his passion for automobile led him to quickly build and play with cars, reorganizing pieces of cars and creating something. And eventually, he was still very young, he created the Formula 2 car for Argentina. That led him to meet with Manuel Fanjo, the Argentina hero for car racing and pluri-times world champion. They became friends very quickly, and eventually Fanjo wrote 5 letters of introduction of Orazio Pagani to his Italian friends. One letter was for Enzo Ferrari, another one was for Mr. Chiti of Alfa Romeo, Alfieri, that used to be in charge of Maserati and then went to Lamborghini, Osella, and what else? De Tomaso, of course, Argentinian as well. So he decided to take this journey to Italy. It was 1982, and went to talk to these people. His very first interview was at Ferrari, but not with Ferrari. Ferrari was not being in good shape. It was not in good health. So he talked to Mauro Forghieri, who was the head of Formula 1 racing. The interview went very well, and Forghieri offered him a job to work with them in the Formula 1 team. But Pagani said, "Oh no, I'm come here. I want to come to Italy to build a car, not a racing car, but a road car, a supercar." So he declined that, and next met with Engineer Alfieri. And Alfieri at the time was at Lamborghini, at the time when Lamborghini was trying to survive. Again, another nice conversation, and Engineer Alfieri, Giulio Alfieri, eventually said, "All right, if you come back, we will give you a job." So Orazio went back to Argentina with the idea of establishing himself in Italy and come to Italy to create the world's most beautiful automobile. He married his current wife, Cristina, so they married, and they are set to move to Italy after marriage, spring 1983. But in the meantime, he received a letter from Mr. Alfieri saying that business was going worse and worse than Lamborghini, and he could no longer offer him a job, and would not know when there would be an opportunity to do so. Nevertheless, they left Argentina and moved to Italy. First, Orazio, and to make a living, Orazio, his first job, he told me, was to work in Como at in a farm, working in a farm, and he slept for more than 1 month, and he lived in a camping. He lived in the Como International Camping. So he had a very, very hard, simple start. He had no money. He had to make for a living. And eventually Christina joined him, his wife Christina joined him, and then they went to see Alfieri anyway. And Alfieri said, I cannot take you over. I mean, we have problem with the unions, we cannot pay. But maybe if you accept to work as a third level worker in the factory, in the shops, I may be able to get a go. And so Orazio accepted a very modest, low-paid job just to join Lamborghini. The third level was just a step above the man cleaning the floor at the factory. But his idea was to develop composite. He was watching the situation, seeing how hard and tough and time-consuming and costly was producing the metal sheet of the Countachs, and he developed an interest for carbon fiber and technology, and insisted on working on that. And this is what he did. He did a sort of work, and soon he moved into the reparto esperienze, and he was able to solve nearly every sort of problem. So he became very precious to it. But still he was not satisfied, and he was convinced that Lamborghini should investigate carbon fiber technologies. Being unable to convince the top management, he decided one day, he went to the bank in Sant'Agata and asked for a mortgage. He was committed to buy his own autoclave foam because Lamborghini would not invest into it. So he went on and created his own and bought his own autoclave to do his job. Lamborghini had a good understanding, so they had reached an agreement whereby he would work as a worker, as an employee at Lamborghini during the day, and in his spare time he could experiment, develop his technology in carbon fiber. Eventually, he built some sample, developed a bumper that he took to Lamborghini to convince them that the future was carbon fiber. Then it's a relatively long story, but from that he grew and became a supplier of carbon fiber components to Ferrari, to many car companies in the area, worked with the Lara, developed a great experience, and he was a trendsetter in carbon fiber technology, and started making some good money. Eventually, Lamborghini was taken over by Chrysler, so they had the money. They spent a lot of money in many projects, and also got an autoclave themselves. And there, of course, he contributed to the development on different cars. But Pagani was keen to be a car designer, and indeed, he is very proud to have had his hands on the Countach 25 anniversary, and was about to work on the 30th anniversary. That never didn't happen. Now, he went on. Now the rest is today legend. He set up his Modena design factory after he made his first €1 million by building components for the industry, and time had come for him to design his own car. And that is how he came to build the Zonda C12. Again, Manuel Fanjo played his role here, because Manuel Fanjo introduced him to whom? To Mercedes-Benz, who, that was quite unusual and difficult at the time, agreed to provide Orazio Pagani with the power plant of the car that we need, and this car was, of course, coming from AMK supplier, so the performance car and the Zonda, and from now on that it was a success. Now, he has just told me that he's about to introduce his third model in the range in the history of Zonda, and already the first 100 units have been sold, even before the car is introduced and shown. On the market, today's one of the early Zonda, but this is applied to nearly every Zonda, is worth 3, 4, 5, 10 times its original price. So I think this is really magic.